Hello, this is Jimmy Steller again, out of semi-retirement to finally bring a follow-up video to my movie rants section. And this time, it's about the latest Pixar movie, Inside Out. To quickly summarize, Inside Out is about 5 different personified emotions who live inside the mind of an 11-year-old girl named Riley. We see how these 5 emotions help Riley get through life, and when an accident leaves 2 of them outside of the control room, things start to come apart around the exact same time as she is faced with a big change in her life. This is a great film with a very mature message. I don't really have too much to say on that front, which is why I didn't give this a full review. But here's the thing. Inside Out could possibly be an amazing first in the Pixar film saga, and that's saying a lot. Pixar has always pushed the envelope in terms of making family movies that are more than just mindless entertainment. They've tackled serious issues in their movies. Here's my point. Riley's emotions are made up of anger, played by Louis Black, fear, played by Bill Hader, disgust, played by Mindy Kaling, joy, played by Amy Poehler, and sadness, played by Phyllis Smith. And it turns out that this setup of these 5 emotions is the same for everyone in this movie universe, even with the animals. At several points in the movie, we get a few glimpses into other people's mindsets, and the same 5 emotions are present, with one significant difference that I actually did notice while watching the film, but I never gave it much thought until I read a certain joke in the abridged script. With the exception of Riley, every single person's mind room in this film is made up of a group of single-sex emotions. Her dad's emotions are all male, her mother's emotions are all female, and when we look inside the head of a little boy at the hockey arena, his head's made up of 5 age-appropriate males. So what does that say about Riley, who has a mind made up of both male and female personalities? Now, obviously, they wanted a famously angry comedian to play the role of anger, so Louis Black was their top choice, and Bill Hader was a smart choice to be fear. But in the context of the movie's universe, Riley is unique. So basically, whether they wanted to or not, Pixar just might have given us their first ever trans protagonist. And honestly, I'm baffled that it took me so long to realize this. Now, either Pixar secretly planned this, or it was a complete accident. This could be a step in the same direction that Paranorman was going in when they revealed one of the main characters was gay. This could be the LGBTQ community taking another step towards being properly represented in mainstream films aimed at general audiences. Heck, I could be overreaching with this view of Riley's future orientation, but based on the rules that Pixar established about this world, she very well could be embracing that side of her in her teenage years. And I want it to be true. Imagine a sequel which addressed that in a way that families could open up a dialogue about how not everyone is heteronormative. It's one thing to have an Oscar-bait special issues movie win Best Picture at the Oscars, and it's another thing to have a Pixar and, moreover, a Disney film openly embrace the LGBTQ community by giving them a protagonist to really identify with, in a way that no Disney or Pixar film has ever done before. I suppose I'm just super enthusiastic because I only just realized the potential of this, but I don't think it's that wrong to think that about Riley. I mean, it doesn't take anything away from her as a character, whether she's straight, gay, or trans, or something else entirely. But man, it would be so cool if this had been intentional. And Pixar, once again, is pushing at the boundaries that mainstream films have set up for decades. And I should say that this has nothing to do with whether the film is good or not. It's a great family movie worth checking out regardless. But I personally do hope that this idea was intentional on Pixar's part, because then this can be seen as an example of Hollywood making progress, however small, towards really bringing LGBTQ characters into the mainstream spotlight. I'm also not claiming to represent an LGBTQ point of view. I have no such authority. What I am is a fan of cinema, a supporter of the LGBTQ community, and someone who believes in the importance of art imitating life, helping society to become more tolerant of the people in it. The idea that Pixar would take this tiny step forward in the hope that bigger steps can be made in its wake, that's a very comforting idea that we are continuing to progress in the right direction as a species. Even if it is just a Pixar movie in the grand scheme of things.